What is going on, everybody? My name is Shane Masluk, and today I wanted to tell you 3 tips for shooting more cinematic drone footage. Let's jump into it. So the number 1 tip that I would give you guys is to make sure your lighting is on point. Now, there's a couple different options you can go to. The first one that I would recommend is shooting at golden hour. So that's either dusk or dawn. So I've actually found that shooting just about half an hour to an hour after the sun has risen, or is just about to set, so an hour or half an hour before the sun's about to set, has given me some of the best stuff, just because the lighting on the mountains where I live is a lot better, and I find that it those harsh shadows is really what sculpts the landscape, sculpts your subject, and really gives you that really nice, appealing cinematic lighting. So that's the first tip. So shoot at golden hour, so dusk or dawn, or an hour after the sun comes up, or an hour before the sun sets. Those are the best times that I have found. So tip number 2 is make sure that you're adding a lot of movement to your shot. Now, I know when you first start to fly your drone, you're a little nervous because you just want to get those basic shots, get those crane shots, some dolly shots, following shots. Those things are really nice to start with, but they're so overdone at this point that it's very boring and dull to watch. When I say add lots of movements, you want to add an orbit around, you want to add a dolly, but also orbiting the subject, so you're following them and then you're also orbiting them. And what that will do is just create a more exciting frame, and really what it's going to do is highlight your subject, and it's going to test your skills as well. So if you're able to pull off these shots, they don't only look amazing, but I give you guys kudos because orbiting while tracking a subject is harder to do than it is to say. So I highly recommend you guys really step up your movement game when it comes to drone footage, because that's what's gonna give you the best footage, and really draw your audience in to whatever you're shooting, whether it's landscape stuff or a subject. So that's what I found for tip number 2. Tip number 3 that I'm gonna give you guys is, when you go out to shoot, make sure you either have a subject who's willing to participate and to do all the things that you say you want to do. I've been really lucky and blessed to have a lot of friends who've been able to be my subjects and my models, and thank you to them. That's made a big difference in my stuff, because it gives you something to focus on and gives you kind of a point of reference and a point of starting for when you're flying, and it's a little bit easier to get an orbit, dolly tracking shot and stuff like that. I find that shooting landscapes, for me at least, gets very boring after a while. If you guys are unfortunate enough not to have a good friend who's gonna help you come out and shoot some drone stuff, I would really recommend, if you are shooting landscape, to make sure you have a foreground, a middle ground, and a background. You want to make sure you have at least a foreground and a background, because it's going to be boring if it's just one steady landscape the entire time. That tip may sound very basic, but trust me, it's a big one. I've noticed that if I just shoot a single landscape, or if I fly over the water and onto a tree, or not onto a tree. So I've noticed if I fly over the water and I'm tracking somebody and there's really nothing going on in the background, it's a lot less of an exciting shot. It's really hard for you to draw into the subject if there isn't anything happening in the background. Drones are getting more popular, so we're really going to have to step up our footage game, and the way we can do that is by adding in more movement. And if you can add in more movement, so like an orbit with a dolly, you're not there yet, that's okay. Just make sure you have a foreground, a middle ground, and a background. Trust me, it makes a world of difference, and I highly recommend it. All right guys, so that is the 3 tips that I would recommend. Get started on that right away. And the 4th one, which is very obvious, but it always comes down to practice. Go out and try and fly every single day. If you can't fly every day, at least fly once or twice a week, and just really practice with your drone, get comfortable with it, and push your shots, push your limits when you're flying it with a drone. I know that a lot of them, because I use my DJI Phantom 4, and it's a very intelligent machine. So the chances of you actually crashing it or landing it in the water or just messing it up in any way is actually very reduced if you're intelligent when you go out to fly. But for me, the best shots I've gotten is when I've really pushed myself. So I actually shot in a tunnel this week for the first time, and here's a little clip for that. And it was very sketchy. It was one of the scariest things I've had to do with my drone, but it turned out so great, and I know how I'm gonna make it better the next time. Just go out, practice, shoot more, and see if you can get a friend to help you. And that's it. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. So it lets me know that you guys like these videos, and if you do like these videos, I will happily give you a part 2 to this because I am still learning, but along the way I'm making sure to keep notes and really track my progress so I can see what's different from the very first time I shot with my drone to right now and how I'm doing most of my drone footage right now. Stay curious and keep on practicing because that's all that it comes down to, is just the practice. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Shane Masluk. Have a wonderful day, guys. Wonderful day.